Hello, everyone. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome in. I am sorry that I'm late. I said I would be on at 3. I apologize. I am late. I am on now. I hope everyone is doing well. Now, are we ready to get started in our second class? I'm sorry, I'm just sitting up here trying to adjust my thing. Okay. Are we ready to get started with our second class? I hope we are. Let's get started. So, this is week 2. Next week, we'll be back on Thursday on time. So this is week 2. Week 2, this time, I decided to get distinctly started with rewriting your self-love identity. Okay? Now, before we get started, let me preface it with this. I apologize that, let me see. Okay, hold on. Hey, love. I apologize for having to take a break yesterday. Yesterday was a very long day for me, so it was kind of tough. Okay, so apologize for that. Got tired. There you go. Now, let's get into it. So we are talking about rewriting your self-love identity and the homework that's going to go along with that. Thank you, love. I'm so sorry. I try to be there. When I say I'm going to be there, I try to be there. So we're going to talk about self-love in a way, and I have my notes, of course, that you've never heard of before. Okay. So we're going to go through how to do affirmations, a little bit of evidence, okay, and something I call quantum entanglement. So let me explain this. Okay, and welcome in everyone that's coming in. Welcome in. I'm a firm believer in quantum physics and how it affects our life. And I use those tactics when I'm working with people. Welcome in. Welcome in. I use that when I'm working with folks because quantum mechanics and quantum physics has a lot to do with your life. And you can relate it to self-love in your life. That's what I want to apologize for. That noise. I can't stop that noise right now. I am so sorry. If I could, I would. So I hope it doesn't bother you too much. All of you that's coming in, welcome in. Love that you're here. So grateful. Those of you that are walking in that don't know what this is about, this is a class that I give once a week. I give homework, and it deals with behavior changing to make the permanent change in your life for yourself. Okay, because there's a lot of different things that we work on in our lives, and there's many different ways how people do it. I'm just a particular person that does it a particular way. Okay, it's not for everybody, but I offer these for free to help as much as I can. So let's get started. All right. If you ever felt disconnected from yourself, or you're like, affirmations don't work for me, then this live is for you. Okay. Because today we're not going to just talk about I love myself. All right. We're going to look at how do you become the person that believes that. Now let's talk about something. A lot of people think the self-love is woo-woo, is hokey. I've noticed they push self-care more than they push self-love. That drives me crazy because self-care is the action of self-love. One of the actions of self-love, but that's not self-love. Self-love is self-love. Okay. Self-love is looking at your inner child and saying, I got you. I love you. I got you. Self-love is looking at yourself honestly and authentically and is like, you know what? I shouldn't be doing that. And I know I should be doing better. I could do a lot better. And it's hard for people to walk the path of self-love because it requires you to look at yourself. It requires you not to say negative things about yourself, but it does require discipline. It does require tenacity. It does require authenticity. If you are not ready to do any of those things, then baby, you're not ready for the permanent change in your life. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Okay. So, please, yes, you got that right. Please, if you feel that someone can benefit from this and from the homework that I give on the website, which I will add after, please share this. Please share this because we all Every day of our life, we walk through a journey of ours. Every day. Okay? And the number one, Cat Williams, what did Cat Williams say? Number one player? Us. Right? That's who we got to get right. Not the other people that's treating us wrong. Not the other people that's sitting up there because we're seeing what they're doing, but we are allowing. No. No. And then what is the number one thing we do? We sit up and we get on ourselves. Why? Because you didn't know how the person was? Because you didn't know what they were going to do to you? Why are you blaming yourself? No, love. No. What you do is you learn you. You learn how you are. Okay? Again, for those of you just coming in, I apologize for that noise. I can't take care of right now, but hopefully it'll be taken care of soon. But welcome in. You are welcome here to our space. Thank you so much. So much love for you. Okay, let's get started. So let's ground in the concept of what a self-love identity is. So we talked about what self-love is. Self-love is love of self in the authentic state of your spirit. Self doesn't really exist. Spirit does. Okay. When we talk about self in the terms of psychology, that's dealing with your conscious mind and your subconscious and your unconscious. Okay. Who I look at and what I deal with is your spirit, because your spirit is who you really are. You understand? So your self-love identity is the story you unconsciously tell about who you are and what you deserve. Let's stop there for a moment. Tells about who you are. I have a question for you. When you talk about yourself with someone else, how do you describe you? When you interview for a job, do you have the hardest time talking about positive points of yourself at all? When an employer asks, why should we hire you? Or what is it about you that makes you unique? Are you one of those type of people that go, you know what? I don't really say that kind of stuff about myself, but I mean, I guess I can say, why? You should be able to talk about you in a positive way. So why would you shy away from that? I don't understand. See, people think that self-love is just a psychological thing, and no, it affects our jobs. It affects our relationships. It affects the relationships with our children. It affects how we have a relationship with ourselves and how we show up for ourselves. Do you understand? And you're the number one person that needs to show up for yourself, not somebody else. You. How can you teach someone else how to love you and you don't know how to love you? How that work? You got to know, right? Okay, so what is your self-love identity? Have you ever thought about it? When you think about the love for yourself, and you got to say something positive, can you? Okay. Here's why this is important. Most of us build our identity based on our political party, based on what parents say about us, based on what our teachers say, partners say, social media says what we should do, co-workers say how we should be, Hollywood if we're trying to be an actress or a singer. Don't get me started on even trying to be an independent artist and you're being judged all the time by what people say you should be doing or should be creating and all this kind of stuff. That kind of thing. Welcome in, y'all. So we don't understand that our subconscious picks up on all of this. And when we think that our identity is ours, the next time we look around, it's someone else's on us and about us. No, you define that. You define what your self-love journey is, and you define what that looks like for you and your spirit. You understand? Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. So, that external, you then turn inward. You start believing what everyone else says about you. Where is your concept of you? Okay? Yeah, so some identity examples, right? Let me take a case in point. I'm neurodivergent. So people automatically, for me, I can just speak for me. People automatically would assume when I explain something, oh, we're not going to even understand it anyway. Why should I listen to you? She's one of those people. Or one is misunderstanding you. Okay, so say let's take another one. I'll get outside of myself. Let's say you're in a political family and you believe one thing, they believe another, but they are like I don't need to take you seriously because you don't even understand what you're talking about. Clearly, you need to listen to us because we have a history of this in our family and we know these facts, and this is what you need to be when you're just trying to find and be you. You understand? Or, oh, I love this, especially as a teacher. You got to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that to have any value or worth. Who the hell says my grades and my what I'm doing defines who I am? That doesn't say who I am as a person. That says something I like. You understand? Thank you. Thank you, Miss Tress. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So you understand what I mean? Like, you identify how you identify. That's on you. Because at the end of the day, when your life is said and done, you're answering to that. No one else is answering to that. When my Father visits you, when you pass on and is looking at you, do you know who you are? Because that's the question you're going to get asked. Do you know who you are? And you're sitting up here and you're defined by what everyone else says. No. My Father's not going to take that. You got to know authentically who you are. So you got to take responsibility for your self-love identity, for who you are. People are walking around the way they are now because they don't know who they are. And not only that, they're afraid to say and claim it because someone else is going to say something. My loves, you cannot be afraid of what people are going to say about you. Anybody can say whatever they want to say about you. It's what you say about you that counts at the end of the day. You understand? Okay. Now, here's the truth though. Identity is not fixed. It's a living vibration within you. It's constantly changing and in motion. Okay? It's energy. And because it's energy, it shifts with awareness. If you look at the observer theory in quantum physics, okay, particles change their behavior based on knowing they're being observed, based on knowing and knowing that you can feel it. That's equivalent to your intuition. How many times do you change how you're acting because someone's watching you? Some of you do, some of you don't, right? But a lot of times we do that, especially if there's someone we like and we know that they're watching us. Oh, baby, we turn on that like, oh, you watching me? Okay. You know what I'm saying? We do that. It's a natural response. It's okay. It's a natural response. So your energy shifts, but it's your awareness that you got to bring online. You got to be aware of what you're doing and what you're saying about yourself. That's when they're talking about right speech, right action, right thought. Okay? That's your awareness. But you got to become aware. Sorry about that noise. Again, I'm sorry, y'all, that's coming in. I apologize for that noise. Welcome in, y'all. So, you got to be aware so the relationship with yourself can be rewritten. You will not, in cognitive behavioral coaching, we get you to look at your behaviors that you can see. It makes no difference if we see them. You got to see them. That's how you make the permanent change. Is by you seeing them. You being aware of the patterns. You do understand that life is nothing but pattern. That's all it is. And once you start paying attention to those patterns, you start to become aware. And you start to wake up. And you start to say, hey, where do I fit in this? Where am I in this? Right? Okay. So, let's do this. Drop a heart in the chat. If you ever said to yourself the affirmations, you use them, but no change really happened. Or you feel inner resistance to them. Now, I'm not talking about the ones you listen to when you sleep. I'm talking about the ones that's when your conscious mind, you're awake, you're listening to affirmations. But in the gut of your stomach, you are like, this is not really working for me. This is not. I'm gonna give you something to do with that, a practical tool to use for that. Okay. Affirmations work when paired with evidence. Let me explain. Whenever you pick up anything scientific, anything in life, right? It should be provable. At any time, it should be provable. And that includes your self-care. That's right. That includes your journey. Okay. You should be able to prove it. You should be able to say, okay, I'm going to make this change in 21 days. I no longer do this habit. Because I'm going to tell you something. All of this is just changing behavior. That's all it is. And it's having the discipline to look in you. The most scary place where we're at is us. And what we don't want to see. That's the number one reason why people want to do self-love work. Because they don't want to see what they want to see. I get that. I dig it. But my loves, it's mandatory. You understand? It's mandatory. The brain doesn't believe words alone. Humans need proof. No, you can't get away. You can't get away from you. That's why you got the number one person with you every day is you. That's the number one person to love is you. So for example, you may say, I'm enough, right? But your old identity whispers back, no, you're not. This is where the evidence has to come in. How many times? This is simple example. Simple example. You make a mistake. You didn't go pick up some dry cleaning. You didn't go pick up the coffee for your partner. You didn't go do something. I'm so freaking stupid. Why did I do that? I'm going to ask you this question. Let's go deeper. Do you do that by a rote response? Or do you do it without thinking? Like it's second nature? Or do you catch yourself if you say something like that about yourself? Now, why is that dangerous? Because speaking is spelling. You're giving yourself a fake identity that's not real. You're not stupid. Not by a long shot. So why would you say that over one mistake? Spirit don't say that to you. Why are you saying it about yourself? You understand? So this is where the evidence is going to come in. After saying your affirmation, ask yourself, where is this true already? Okay. So if you say I'm enough and your gut whispers back, no, I'm not. Ask yourself, where is it not? Where is it true that I'm not enough? Who said that? Did I say that or did someone else say that about me? If someone else said it, why am I believing it? If I said it about myself, good. Good. I'm glad you're starting to catch yourself. If I'm saying it about myself, why? Why am I saying that? Why am I believing that? Let me clean slate that. No, we're not stupid. We just made a mistake. See how I re-say it in a different way, right? Speaking is spelling. That means your words bring in energy and you must be careful of what you say. You know what? My critic, yes, my mother was mine too and my family. So I totally understand. I totally understand and had to. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So even in small moments, showing up for yourself, setting a boundary can be hard, but it's necessary. And then you get the people, you're selfish because you won't let us have this, or you're selfish because you won't give to us and you have more than enough you can give to us. Then go get your own. See, that's me. I'm sorry. That's divine. Divine is like, oh, yeah, I do have more than enough, but my name is on it. And I decide whether I give it out or not, and I don't have to. Well, you're selfish. In this moment, I just may be. But you know what? I bet you there's somewhere else that needs more than you. So, no, I'm not giving it to you. Bye. That's divine. Straight up. That's divine. So, I understand. I understand. Yes. Oh, okay. Let's talk about that term. I'm dead. You don't say that. The young folks walking around here saying that term. And I would get on my kids all the time. I'm like, stop saying that. Stop saying that. Because the universe is going to hear that and be like, oh, for real? Okay. And they thought it was a joke. No. You must be careful what you say, including the affirmations you believe. But we're going to get to that. So over time, quantum signals reinforce your new identity. Your observation and your entanglement. And we're going to talk about entanglement. That's what this talk is about. Quantum entanglement. Self-love quantum entanglement. We're going to get there. Yes, I know. It's strange to hear scientific terms match with self-love. That's how I do it. Because it's provable. That's why. You should always be able to prove. what you're testing for yourself. I hear you. I hear you, mistrust. I hear you. Welcome in, y'all that are coming in. Welcome in. So, okay. So over time, these quantum signals reinforce your new identity. And with each thought is a new piece of evidence that you're feeding or you're creating. Okay? That means you guys are in the same energy, Linnea. That's what that means. Same energy, babe. Same energy. That's what I'm talking about. That's what happens when you have your soul tribe. You start moving in tandem and in love. Got it? Okay. So, wonderful thing. So, and each thought becomes a piece of evidence that becomes a data point in your personal energy field. Okay? I want you to start thinking. I want you to think. Think of one piece of evidence that proves you are worthy of the love of yourself. Can you come up with one? Even if it's small, can you come up with one? I'm going to say it again. Think of one piece of evidence that proves you're worthy of love. Love it. Can you come up with one and can you share it in the chat so everyone can see and everyone can talk with each other? Because here's my concern. If you can't find one about yourself, if you can't find one, something's wrong. Because you should be able to say one thing that proves that you're worthy of love. And I'm going to tell you something. You've been worthy. The thing is, you got to know you are. Just because the people around you say one thing, my loves, you got to know. You got to know. Welcome in, y'all. So, let's get to the quantum self-love entanglement. Let's think of it this way. In physics, entanglement means two particles become linked so that even when separated by distance, what happens to one affects the other instantly. Let's think about it for a second. Okay? Let's think about it for a second. Twin flame. Soulmate. The energy when you feel someone else is connecting to you and you can feel them across the miles. That's quantum entanglement. When you sit up and you think about someone so hard and they call you, that's quantum entanglement. When you have a telepathic conversation going on, that's quantum entanglement. Do you understand? Okay. When two particles, two beings, two energies intersect together, all right, even though separated by distance, but they're linked, that one will affect the other. Have we not been talking about that when we're talking about our self-love identity? What other people say affect how we see ourselves, right? Imagine, let's see if self-love works the same way. So imagine there's two of you. And there is, isn't there? There's an inner child, and that's who you are now. Two yous, right? But let's look at it in terms of your current you, where you are right now in this moment, in the present moment that exists, and your past you. Because as you do the self-love work, you're looking at you now and your past you. So let's look at that. So the current you and the you who already fully loves themselves. You heard what I said. Okay? They are entangled across time. Now, let's think about time for a moment, because everything exists everywhere at all times now, in the now. Okay? But you're being entangled across time. Your future self, your current self, and your past self are all entangled, all connected, because your past shaped now, and this now is shaping your future that doesn't exist yet. You are forming that future. You are entangled to that future. If you don't have the love of you, what does that future self look like? You know where you came from. We have a saying in our culture. To know where you're going, you got to know where you come from. That was by Dr. Carter G. Woodson, who started Black History. It was a day, week, and then month. Okay? You know where you've been. That is your baseline, is where you've been. Your current where you are now, like ripple and waves. Yes. Yes, it is. Your current, and it's tethered. It's tethered. Okay. Your current is where you are now. What are you doing in the now to influence your future self? What self-love are you doing now that you didn't receive back then that's going to influence the future self of you, the future self-love of you? You're starting now to build that self-love of you in the future. Do you understand? So since you're entangled across time, when you affirm, you act in self-kindness, you send a signal to that higher frequency version of you that exists, and they respond. Yes, it moves slow. Yes, it does. But it has to move slow to be permanent. Because all your time is based on what you're doing, what you think, and how you're moving. It's all based on you. So I'm going to tell you this right now. When people get mad at divine timing, you do understand that divine timing, yeah, is based on spirit, but it's based on you and your free will decisions. You do understand that. Yes. So you're the one who can make it go fast or slow. Yes. I want you to understand that. You're the one who is determining. Okay. So every affirmation is like a quantum pulse that collapses the gap between who you think you are and who you really are. Okay, let me put it together. So when you listen to affirmations and you take it in your subconscious and it sits there, because it does sit there, that's where it remains. Okay, it goes from the conscious to subconscious, right? You are believing something to make you love you. Okay? Good. I'm glad. And then it's closing the gap between who you are in the now, who you think you are in the now, and the you you're trying to get to be, who you really are. Love is the only thing that gets you to who you really are. The only thing that gets you to who you really are. It tells you the truth. That is why you begin the journey of loving you. You can't even get to the understanding of spirit until you love you. Again, when my father said, love God, love your neighbor, like you love yourself. Those were 3. Loving yourself. Yes, just like a mirror. Exactly. And there's actually an exercise on the homework. That deals with quantum entanglement. You got to love you to know how to love. The only one you know is you. But we love to love everybody else before we love us. No. You still love other people. But my loves, the base is you. The home is you. You in spirit, where within you. Oh, so I get to love me and I'll see spirit and understand spirit. Exactly. That's where it exists, within you, because you are like spirit is. Do you understand and see the connection? To get to spirit, you must get to you to understand spirit in the first place and what it's doing and how it's moving in you. So thus you are. You dig? Okay. So self-love isn't about creating a new you. I want you to understand. There is nothing wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. You just haven't seen you. You remember, if you've seen The Matrix, do you remember when Neo, and I said this in one of my talks, you remember Neo said his eyes hurt because he had never used them before? He never saw with his own eyes. Those of you that don't love you have never really seen with your own eyes you. Yes, please do. You've never seen you because you didn't use the eyes of love to see you. You saw you through other people. No, loves. See you through you. That's why you can't reconcile. Yes, Linnea, that is why. Because you're looking for something else instead of you. And that's a part of the homework this week too. You're going to look at yourself this week without cringing, without sitting up and saying in your head, oh, I really need to lose weight. I need to be, oh man, I need to do my hair different. No, just look at you. Look in your eyes honestly. And then you tell yourself you love you. Why wouldn't you? I'm sorry. I'm that teacher that asks you the hard questions. Yeah, it's weird, but it's you. So why would you run from you? You understand me? How do you think you get over hurt from people? I'm back here. How do we feel? How are we taking this? What do I need to do to lift myself up so we can take this better? How am I supporting myself? What am I feeding myself in here, in my third eye, in my heart space, in my solar plexus to even be where I remotely want to be? You understand? You got to see you. So self-love isn't about creating a new you. It's about reuniting with the version that already exists. Hence, my Father knows you. You don't know you because a lot of you don't love you. So you don't know you. And hence why people come in and use you and your kindness and your love and your genius because you don't know how to love you. I hear you. And a lot of us haven't had love that way, but you know why? Because we got to give it to ourselves. The love we seek is in here. The love we seek is in here. It's always has been since we were born with it. But you got to understand that version of you you're looking for already exists. That's why you were even able to think of it and create it in the first place. It already exists. You're just not living it yet. Welcome in. So, all right. I'm going to give you a practice. Okay? This is a short exercise, very short. We're going to do what's called a 60-second reset. Okay? I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath in. And imagine connecting with that entangled self of yours, that other self of you, the one who already radiates unconditional love for yourself, the one, that self of you that holds you, that self of you that comforts you. Okay? I want you to see that in your mind. Sit with that for a moment. Okay? I want you to take another deep breath in and let it out. Now, as you take another deep breath in and exhale, I want you to repeat after me. Okay? Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Repeat after me. I am the evidence of love. I am both the sender and receiver of my own energy. Okay? Feel how that version of you that already exists in the right now feels. How does it feel to know you right now are an example of love itself? And that since you give it and you receive it, that you're in the flow of it, right in the middle. And it's all around you, wrapped around you. How does that feel? Sit with that for a moment. And then I want you to take another deep breath in and let it out. The next breath we take, we're going to take it in, and we're going to slowly breathe it out. Okay? To a count of 5. So take a breath in, and you're going to breathe out to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes. Okay? How did that feel? How did that feel to you? To know this. To be aware. Okay? My loves. When you change the relationship with yourself, you change your vibration. And the universe responds in kind. Good, I'm glad it helped. I'm glad it helped. Remember, your affirmations are not wishful thinking. They are quantum instructions to the universe about who you're becoming. Okay? So, go live as the evidence of your own love. You are already entangled with the version of who knows you're worthy already. Okay? I want to understand. I want you to understand. Wait. Go and wait. I want you to understand the importance of knowing you. To know you is to love you. To love you is to understand you in spirit. You understand? Spirit is talking to you. You can't hear and you can't see. You're blinded because you're using other people's lenses to see you, when spirit only uses the lens of you to see you. You are on 2 different wavelengths right now. Yes, your spirit always is talking to you. Your spirit's always talking to you. That's my Father. And you. That's the I am. That's why you are. So, you can't base yourself on other people's opinions of you when my Father's asking you to see you. Do you understand? Where in that is anyone else but you? You're worthy. If you don't take anything else from this life, you are worthy. You have been worthy. You just didn't see you to know you are. Well, I'm telling you, you've been worthy. No matter what mistakes you make, no matter how many mistakes you make, no matter if you fail, you keep trying so you didn't fail, right? You are a gift that has been given through love. How dare you not love you and see that love of you in yourself? You understand me? Welcome in, y'all. Don't do that. You are downplaying the gift you are. You exist for a reason. You exist because of love. And all my Father is asking you to do is to find and love the authenticity of you so you can see you the way my Father sees you. So then we can see and love others and teach them to love who they are. Each one teach one. That's not just a little song. You understand? That's why my Father walked. So you would even know how to get to you and who you are and where you're at. So we owe it to ourselves to do the work, to find it within. You dig? We owe it that. Why? Because it loved us first. That's exactly why you get Love Warrior messages. I need you to understand that. If you weren't worthy, you wouldn't be here. Good, I'm glad you dig it. You wouldn't be here because there'd be no purpose for you. You're here because there's a purpose for you. But our purpose doesn't stop at us. That's the beginning. A lot of us think spirit is the beginning. No, we are the beginning. That's where spirit is. You got to go in, right? But we go in to go out. We go in to gain compassion. Love is first, then compassion. Everyone reaches for compassion and people don't know what the fuck love is. Love is the gritty work. It's the work. It's the lessons. It's the thing that really sits up there and makes you see. Why? Because once you walk through it, you get to compassion. You get to the understanding of seeing you and that freaking enemy and why you don't even boo-boo on them. You're just like, I'm going to leave you where you're at because I got my own journey going on. I don't even need to deal with you. I can have love for you over there and we are separated. Go on about your business. You get to compassion for that reason. This is why you even love your enemy. Do you understand how much that enemy shows you? But what do? You get mad because you see you in them. Don't you think my Father wanted you to? So you understand what love and compassion is? We walk our journeys to find love of us, to teach another. We teach others what we've been through. That's why many of us go through the same similar things. But you can't do it if you don't love you. You understand? You don't ever let people disrespect you and the love of you. I don't care how woo-woo. Thank you, Ms. Maya. I don't care how woo-woo it seems to be, because that's why people don't attend self-love classes, because they're like, oh, this is this woo stuff. No, it's your foundation. And if you can't sit up and talk about self-love of you, there's a problem. If you're embarrassed about it, there's a problem. No love. No, we ain't doing that. Haven't you been in your prison that you let other people put you in and you put yourself in? Haven't you been in that prison long enough? Don't you want the keys to get out? The key is loving yourself. Duh. That's right. Ain't nothing wrong with woo. Nothing wrong with it. But a lot of people don't do it because they consider self-love to be that, when that's the very foundation that makes you make permanent change in your life. You want to change permanent. You want this pain to end. You want this suffering that you are bringing yourself to end. Love yourself. And I guarantee you, what you see and what my Father shows you is going to blow your mind. And then you're going to say, that's all I had to do? Dang, that's it? Watch. So, all right, loves. I am Soulfully Led Love. I'm Divine Celion. Every Thursday, I give a talk. And I heard that, Miss Trust. And I love Billy Joe, by the way. And my goal here is to get you to love you so we can all love each other. So we can change this thing. Okay? One person at a time. That's what it's all about. That's what my Father said, and that's what I do. I know my mission. I know why I'm here. I went through pain and lessons to be able to teach you. All about soul. That's right. I went through a lot like everybody else to be able to teach my story. that's similar to someone else's story, to maybe help them not go through it or show them how to get over it or get through it. You did. So I have, I'm not sure how to do it on the lives yet, the website. Every week there is homework to do. There is follow-up. If you want me to go over it with you, just send me a DM. We can set up some time and we can go through the homework. Okay. I will probably put a post on my TikTok because I don't know how to do it in this live, but I will put a post. It's just gonna be a short little post giving you the website of where the homework is. Week 1 is there, and now you will have week 2. I put it in before I came into the live. That's why I was a little late. If you want another type of where we can discuss over a Zoom, let me know, where we can commune together and talk together. And that is something that I can consider doing for all of us to do so we can grow. And that's also a weekly thing. If you feel that the 7 days is too long in between the talks and then the homework, then we can possibly do that. But it's each one teach one. And it's all about us loving ourselves so we can find spirit, so we can love each other. That's what it's all about. All right, my loves, I love you. I truly do. And I hope that your journey gets a little easier. I truly do. And I hope that what I bring to you is value. That is my goal. Awesome. Cool. And I have my Transformational Tantra channel on YouTube. All you gotta do is put in Transformational Tantra. You'll see it's a little Buddha. My little rainbow Buddha. And there I have talks on anger, on getting over, on many, many different things. I will also put that in the little post that I do so you can get that. It's all about loving each other and loving ourselves to heal our world for real. For real. And the only way we can do that, the only way we can even begin, is by loving who we are first. All right, my loves. I love you. You take care now. Namaste.